Dude, if you were brand new to the real estate wholesaling industry, what steps would you take starting tomorrow to get out there and find your first deal?
If I was brand new, remember we just talked about keep it simple, right? Keep it simple, stupid. It's acronym we live by in my business, right? So to keep it simple, I would drive for dollars. I'd get 50 properties a day. Yes, a day. You gotta be a hustler out there, so you gotta aim high, try and get those 50 properties a day. After I do that, I just bring them back in. I call them, skip trace, and I call them. I guarantee you, I would probably have a deal probably in that next week, what I know today.
Just like that.
Just like that.
That's simple.
That's simple. Keeping it. Don't overcomplicate it, man.
So you're jumping in your car, cruising around some residential neighborhoods and streets.
Right.
You look for ugly, distressed houses, abandoned looking houses,
and
right?
Make it even easier for you. Instead of writing them down, I'm going to download the Deal Machine app, right? So I can pinpoint exactly where I saw that deal's address. Is going to give me all that information of that owner, the absentee owner. So when I go back and I need to skip trace it, it's a click of a few buttons. It's going to export into a list that I can easily transfer into someplace that skip traces it for me, gets me those numbers, and then I'm just going to go through those numbers and dial.
That's golden. So Deal Machine, right? The Deal Machine app for someone that's brand new, right? Deal Machine, look in the app store. You download that app.
Right.
Cruise through these neighborhoods. When you see the ugliest house on the block, distressed houses, you ping it, right? You add it to your phone, and that's creating a database in your app that you can export, right? You can create a spreadsheet.
Right.
You can take those addresses and send it out to get skip traced.
Yeah, I get skip traced. Get him back and call him. Go on a phone call. That simple. I think my first deal was a drive for dollars deal. My first deal was a drive for dollars deal.
Yeah.
Doing that exact thing. Drive for dollars.
Yep. And so once you get them on the phone, right, you got to make sure you have a script, especially if you're brand new, right? You don't want to get on there and be like a deer in the headlights and get trigger shy.
Right.
You want to make sure you have somewhat of a process. No reason to overcomplicate it, right? But have some type of a calling script that can guide your conversation with the sellers.
And with that script, it's all right. I would say it's all right to have a script, but you don't want to read off of that script, right? You don't want to sound robotic and read word for word. So it sounds like you're just reading the seller or whoever you have on the other end of the story, right? Use it as a guideline, right? Don't read it word for word because it's going to feel awkward. You don't want to feel like you're reading something to them, right?
Yeah.
So you just want to use it as a guideline, and then that way you're able to have a conversation and actively think of your next question while I'm talking to that seller.
That's golden. So once you have someone that raises their hand, right? Yes, I might be interested in selling. Where do you go from there?
Yeah, where you go from there? I'm asking them the questions about the property situation. I want them to tell me everything about their life right then and there, and everything about the property and how that distressed property came to be. I want them to paint me a picture. Paint me a picture of what's going on so I know how to solve their problem. Or is there even a problem to solve? Because if there's not a problem to solve, it's not a person I should be wanting to talk to. Right?
Yeah.
Once I get that and there's actually a problem there, boom, we're going to immediately find out how we can solve that problem.
Boom. So once you got the solution, you guys can agree on price, right? So you were able to take the seller's unique situation,
right,
and identify what problem do they have in their life or their situation or with this piece of property that they need solved.
Right.
And you, coming from a creative deal structure standpoint, you're coming in here structuring your offer around that, right?
Structuring your offer around that.
And then what? Send the contract?
Not necessarily send the contract. I want to make sure that they're a right fit for us as well, right? So we want to make sure as soon as we figure out, hey, if we can come to an agreement on the pricing, is this going to work for you? And what are your next steps? Hey, what do you want to do with this, right? So I want to see, hey, if I do give you this, let's say $50,000 for this property, what do you want to do next, Mr. Seller? You want to sit on it? Do you want to go over with your wife? Do you want to sign a contract? What do you think our next step should be? Like, what's your agenda?
So you're giving them an opportunity, right? You're giving them a decision point. You're not forcing them into, hey, that sounds great. I'm going to send a contract, but it's like, hey, what do you think that I should do?
Exactly.
You know, we're in a ballpark range of the price. What would you feel comfortable with in the next stage in our process?
Right. Exactly. So I know what's going on. I know what our next step should be as soon as I know that answer.
I like it.
And then we go from there. Because I don't want to just send a contract out, right? And now he has the contract, he's looking at it, and I'm sitting here 2 hours a day later wondering why he didn't sign the contract. He might have wanted to shop it. I don't know if I didn't ask that question. Right? So you got to figure out what's the next steps.
Okay. So next steps happen. The seller made the decision, signed the contract. Boom. You got your first property under contract. Where do you go from there?
Oh yeah, where do I go? So just like driving for dollars, you can drive for buyers.
Come
Very
on.
simple, man. So look, you can drive for buyers. You look up, you just go through the neighborhood where you got the property from. You look for people that's already working on that property. So you'll see someone down the street. You see some people outside. I'm pulling over and I'm introducing myself. Hey, my name's Eric. I find properties like this all the time. You know, maybe I may be able to provide you with some more properties that you guys can flip. Can you tell me a little bit about your criteria? Right? It's going to tell me about his criteria. I already know his criteria. I know this is the neighborhood he likes because I got one up the street. So as soon as he tells the criteria, I'm like, oh, ironically, Ben, I have a property very similar to this right up the street. I think it's something you might like. Right? And so you can go from there, from where he's at, showing the property right up the street. Boom, you like, there it is. You connected the seller buyer just by driving for dollars. Right? And if the person's not there, right, get his contact information from the people that are there. Because, hey, we're trying to give them some more work too. It's not just going to benefit the person that's flipping the property. It's also going to benefit his workers because they're going to have more work. So you have to put it out in a way that's going to benefit everybody. So that person can give you that contractor's number, that buyer's number. Right.
Right there. Now, there's a lot of different areas too that you can go out there and work to build your buyer's list. You can go browse Craigslist. Look for all the people that are in search of properties for sale. You can go to Craigslist and post your house or contract for sale. All the buyers that reach out to you, build the relationship, build the rapport, add them to your database. Another way, go to your local RIA. What is a RIA? Real Estate Investor Association. If you're in any major city or smaller tertiary metro hub, good chance there's a local RIA. Check out the online meetup. Look under RIA, and there's likely a bunch of emails and people that are associated with that association. That's a quick little hack where you can pull out a bunch of addresses, email addresses, a bunch of investor contacts, and instantly, boom, you just grew your buyer's list, right? Facebook is another great resource. Once you have 100, 200 buyers, find somebody to swap with. Hey, Mr. Wholesaler, I got a small buyer's list. You got a small buyer's list. Let's multiply. Do that a couple times, and before you know it, you're off to the races. Boom. Right?
Blew it up.
Blew it up.
Blew it up.
So think about like small little things. How can I take small incremental activities, right? And do them over and over again to reach a little, amount of success. And then how do I multiply that, right? Think multiplicity. And eventually, Albert Einstein said it best, the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest. Compound interest. So how do you gain compound interest on your hustle, on your actions and activities that you're putting out every single day, even though it might not feel like you're reaching a whole lot of progress in your current situation? Know that if you continue on this course, you're going to amount to huge amounts of success.
Mm-hmm. Got to be consistent with it. And it's just going to blow up.
Gonna blow up.
It's going to blow up, man.
But that was gold, though. Eric really is a deal practitioner, right? So from him going back and telling from experience what he would do to get out there in the trenches and how he would find his first deal, that's golden, right? You can get in your car and drive, right? Don't just drive for a little pastime hobby, but drive with purpose, right? Get out there. I'm here to get 50 addresses a day, for the next 5 days.
Keep your head on a swivel. You driving, you look left, look right, see what's going on.
Swivel mode.
In swivel mode.
Straight up. Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. So there's nothing standing in your way. Get out of your own
Go get it.
direction. Get out there, jump in your car, download the Deal Machine app. We do have a quick little link in the YouTube video description. Shameless plug. But get out there, guys. The only barrier to entry is yourself. Get out of your own way.
Make it happen.